Today we're going to talk about slope-intercept form. Make sure that you've gone through the slope lesson before you go through this one. Now you know what slope is. You're going to use it for an equation today. Just a quick reminder, slope is known as rise over run, or change in y over change in x. So we're going to go back and remember translations really quickly. We did some arrow notation when we did translations, right? We did lots of arrow notation. What happened when I added 2 to my y value in a translation? That meant that I slide the object up 2 units. What happened when we subtracted 4 from my y value? We went down 4 units. That's going to help us out today. So we're going to start off with the equation y equals 2x. Here's the line that it makes, right? Our slope is 2. We went up 2 every time we went right 1. Now look what happens when we add 3 on the end of that equation. This is a translation. We're going to translate up 3 units. This is what our new line looks like. Notice my last line started at 0 or went through 0. My new line is up here at positive 3. I translated up 3 units. What happens to our slope in my new line? It's still the exact same slope. Our slope is still 2, the number in front of the x. What's the difference in the two lines then? If my slope is the same, if my slope is 2 for both lines, what's the difference? It simply is that the new line crosses the y-axis at 3 instead of at 0. The number where the line crosses the y-axis, right, or the amount of translation, is called the y-intercept. So now we're going to try one more. I have y equals negative 1/2 x. Think about our slope. Our slope is negative 1/2. We're going down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2. And it's proportional, which means we're going through 0, 0. Now I'm going to subtract 4 on the end of my equation. Which way is this going to translate my line? We're going to go down 4 units. Take a look at what that looks like. What's my new slope? Still negative 1/2. What's the new y-intercept? Negative 4. Before, my y-intercept was at 0. Now it's down here at negative 4. That's really the only difference between the two lines. So now we're going to look at the equation of a linear line. This is hugely important and must go in your notebook. Y equals mx plus b. This is an equation that you will use forevermore. M, of course, represents our slope, right? The number in front of the x. And now we have b. We're going to include the sign in front of the b as our y-intercept. This is the amount of our translation, remember. The x and the y in this equation just stand for all the points on the line. Every point has an x and a y, so these x's and y's can be all kinds of different values. We're going to quickly look at the equation. Y equals 7/3 x minus 5. What's our slope? Our slope is 7/3, right? The number in front of the x. What's the y-intercept then? What's the amount of our translation? -5. Remember to include the addition or subtraction symbol in front of the 5 with the y-intercept. Can I graph this equation just from, or can I graph the line rather, just from the equation? You bet we can. Let's take a look. I first of all need to look at where this line is going to cross my y-intercept or cross my y-axis. My y-intercept was -5, so I'm going to start at -5. Where is this slope telling me to go? It's a positive 7/3. So from this point, it's telling me to go up 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and right 3, 1, 2, 3. Here's my new point, or a second point on the line. From there I can do the same thing, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, across 1, 2, 3. Can you see the line that it's starting to create? I'm going to get my line tool and let's draw in that line. Here's the line. I've graphed it just based on those two numbers in my equation, the slope and the y-intercept. The key here is that y has to be all alone. You have to have y isolated, everything else on the other side to be in true slope-intercept form. Write down any questions you have so we can talk about it tomorrow in class. See you later. Good luck.